that you are passionate about organic farming as well. I think that would be great to talk to the audience about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as I said, I've always been a lover of nature. For me, just to see things grow has been a fascination from childhood. And very recently, I, I bought some land outside of Pune with the idea of putting to practice uh, what I always thought ought to be the way the world should feed itself, and that is organic farming. Now, it is, I can assure you, if you want to know how cruel nature can be, of course, this time that we are passing through couldn't be a better example. But let me tell you, if you want to know how you have to learn to adapt with nature, you should try your hand at growing even one tree. Because I can tell you, if you have put in the time and the effort to grow a plant or a tree or anything, you will think 20 times before cutting it the way we mercilessly destroy nature around us. But this organic farming was something I took up because I realized that we are consuming, and the spread of cancer and these kind of diseases are are more to do with the kind of food, particularly vegetables that we are consuming without knowing where they come from and what goes into growing them. And when you see, how the farmers have been just pumping the soil with fertilizers, chemicals, and spraying the vegetables that they grow with all sorts of pesticides. I mean, I'm sure we city dwellers don't know what the hell is going on. Until you actually go and see it for yourself, you will not. I mean, when you see it, you'll probably think 20 times before consuming those vegetables and where they come from. So, this was what actually motivated me. And I now have bought some land, and with the help of some IT professionals who have given up their professions and were like-minded as I am, but they didn't have capital and they didn't have the means, and I could afford to buy land and put in the capital. It's a very happy partnership. So they live in Pune, I live in Bombay, but we have an interaction almost on a daily basis. And just as a hobby, nothing more, just to prove my point that we can be we can grow good vegetables without the help of pesticides and fertilizers, and make it healthier, part of healthier living. I took up this project. It's now about 3 years since we've been doing it, and it's been an interesting journey all throughout because it it tells you, again, as I said, first of all, how to live with nature, because you are exposed. If you put pesticides and you put fertilizers, you are virtually killing, in that sense, the imponderables of nature, because they take care of the weeds and the pests and the this and the that and the climate and whatever. As I said, even to grow roses in Bombay, despite that climate being totally adverse to it, you could completely override it by the use of fertilizers and pesticides. Similarly, with vegetables, it doesn't matter whether it's a hot day today or a cold day today, or the weather has suddenly changed, or it has rained suddenly, or there is a frost. Everything can be got over with the help of this. But it destroys the soil, it takes away all its nutrients, and it keeps ridding the soil of the nutrients year after year. So the idea was to make the soil self-sufficient, to grow plants in that way, to avoid the use of pesticides. And now there is a move towards organic consumption of organic produce. So I'm happy to see that. My idea, of course, was to motivate my neighboring farmers, but I can assure you it's very difficult. Whatever government may say, it is very difficult because they are at subsistence level. They cannot afford even one crop going bad. People like us do it for lark, for a lark or for a hobby. We can afford to, lose a crop or two or three, but they cannot, and that's why you have a perennial problem of farmer loans and repayment and stuff like that. And there's nothing like crop insurance. There is no ready market for them. They cannot uh, keep their produce. There is no cold storages available. There is no power half the time. So you have to get to the village level to understand the problems which the farmers face. And I think that has motivated me. I could go on forever, but I don't
Yeah,
want to bore people to death. I think I've said enough.
So
super.
you clearly have a green thumb, and there's a pun there because it's not just about the money that you've earned; it's
Yeah.
also about the plants and the and the produce that you're managing to grow.
I
So
think
there's
it's
a
a
pun.
giving back to society, in some way. I mean, I can't cultivate the whole of India, but if I can save 4 acres of land from
Correct.
from fertilizers, that's my contribution. Let's
Why
put
not?
it that way.
Sure, sure. Super.
Super. And I think on that note, we'll move over to the demonstration round as well. So I think we're moving more into your personal hobbies. So Tanisha will take over now and do the demo round with you before she starts the interrogation.
Thanks, Vikas.
Thanks, Vikas.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now it's just you and me, Mr. Dwarkadas. Are you ready?
I'm scared.
Look, a man who can enchant the courtrooms the way you do, I'm nothing to, I'm a nobody. So don't worry about it. Okay. So our next round for our audience, it's called the demonstration round, where Mr. Dwarkadas is either going to display a skill or something he's very good at, or just something he simply really enjoys, which is in the confines of his home right now. So, Mr. Dwarkadas, what do you have for us today?
Well, let me hold up to you, if you can see,
Sure.
a small talent which
Yes, can see. Oh wow,
can you
that's
see
a
it or you
sketch.
can't?
Yeah, it's roses that are sketched, right?
Yes, it's a pencil sketch of some of the roses I used to grow when I was a child.
Oh wow.
And this is a sketchbook which I used to maintain. It's
Okay.
probably in tatters now, but it has some of the artwork
And
that
this is all sketched by you, is it?
yeah, it was done
Oh,
when I was
fantastic.
when I was in my college or school days. So
So this
this
is
is one
how
talent.
old would this be, roughly?
Sorry?
How old are these sketches roughly?
They would be in somewhere in the late 60s and 70s.
Oh wow. So do you
And there
still
is
sketch?
no, unfortunately, I don't. There is one painting which is a watercolor,
Okay.
which you might see just above me.
Right
I don't
above.
know.
Yes.
Can you see it now?
Yes, can see this. So there are two birds on a
Branch.
tree or yeah, on a branch essentially, right?
Yeah. So
Yes,
that's a
can.
watercolor that I had done. It's just behind me. I mean, as I'm sitting, you can probably
Right.
see it. So this is what
The
I used to
hidden
do
skill. The
when
hidden skill.
yeah. So when I had more time to devote to my own problems rather than other people's, if I may put it that way.
Fair. Okay. So clearly, with this demonstration, we know that you can be as creative as you can be logical and analytical, which is the good news. It's going to help you in your next round. So our next round is called the interrogation. It's essentially
Interrogation.
the
Okay.
interrogation. It's essentially a rapid fire, but we've given it a legal spin so that lawyers like you vibe with it better, and hopefully will be more impulsive. And we'd encourage you to be impulsive and quick-witted as you're known to be. Not impulsive, the quick-witted part, right? So are you ready for this? And this has to go super fast. Okay, you don't have too much time to think. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, you can't take long pauses. Is that acceptable?
Whatever you say, you are the director of the movie, so I have to go by
Okay.
what you tell me.
Super. Okay, good. So your first question then under the interrogation round, Mr. Dwarkadas, if you woke up as a law firm partner tomorrow morning,
As
what
a
would you do? As a law firm partner tomorrow
Okay.
morning, what is the first thing you would do?
The first thing I would do is get to know my team and get to know their strengths and weaknesses, because as a leader, it's very important to know the people you have and how to get the best out of them.
That is so well said. If I could stand, I would stand and do like a bit of innovation. But thank you. That's a super answer. And there's a lot of messaging there actually for a lot of our lawyer friends in the community. Moving on, next question. What makes you really laugh? Like what can I do or say that will really make you laugh?
Crack a joke that's unprintable.
I will call you separately to do this. It's a bit of it's my specialization, if I will, right? So
So we'll,
I'll
we'll
talk
get
to you.
along well then.
I look forward to that chat offline. Okay, my next question then. Can you name any 3 songs which are there on your daily music playlist, or weekly if it's not daily?
Uh, so I can tell you the kind of music I have on my playlist
Please,
daily.
please.
So
Sure.
one would be what is called only piano, which I listen to when I'm having my tea in the morning and doing my yoga in the evening. I love
Okay.
piano. I wish I could play that instrument.
Okay.
The other is any kind of easy listening music. It does not. It could be a song or I like songs with good lyrics. So
Okay.
that would be definitely there. And the third is I love to listen to unplugged old Hindi songs because they have less of background music and more emphasis on the rhythm and
The
the word.
rhythm, right? So acoustics is what you find engaging.
I find I give more importance to lyrics and the words than to the background because sometimes the background drowns out the words.
Correct, correct. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you. Your next question then. If someone is aspiring to join your chamber and comes in with cake or maybe some home cooked food that you really enjoy to an interview, what would you do?
But I'll take the gift, but make it very clear it's not going to make me change my mind. I think I'm reminded of Chagla, Chief Justice, who was sitting with a judge, an English judge, and there was a
Right.
sack full of potatoes that came to their house that morning.
Okay.
And the English judge told Chagla, said, do you know that this fellow, this blackguard, sent us a sack full of potatoes? So Chagla said, yes, I do. Why? I just promptly sent it back. He says, you're a fool. I kept it, but it's not going to change my mind.
So that nice. Well done. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Give us 3 words you think your
45
friends would use. Can you give us, I'm sorry about that interruption. Can you give us 3 words that your friends would use to describe you?
Why don't you ask yourself, since you claim to be a good friend now, and rather than my being immodest and talking about how my friends would describe me?
Not yet, Mr. Dwarkadas, not till we've had our offline chat. So now you answer this one.
Yeah,
Please.
I would say kind-hearted, patient, hardworking, maybe. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Next one then. Which animal do you think you resemble the most and why?
Animal.
Yes.
Uh, I would say a horse.
Okay.
And why? Because a horse can trot, a horse can canter, a horse can gallop, and horse can change pace according to the requirements of the rider.
Right.
And probably that's what life and the profession is really all about, to be able to adapt to the change in pace.
Super. So you clearly know a lot about horses. Do you own any? Do you own any?
No, but my son is a polo player, Rahul.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but
Okay.
I love horses. I
You
love
do. Okay. Okay. Super. So next question then. India in 1990 or India in 2020?
India in 2020.
And why?
Because it has taught us, hopefully it has taught us that never ever take nature for granted. Hopefully it has taught us. I don't know whether you read an article by Thomas Friedman, who is a columnist for the New York Times. who says, is Mr. Trump trying to have a duel with nature? And he ends by saying, well, if he is, let him know that in 4.5 billion years, nobody has lost a duel to nature.
Wow. No, you're right. Nature is rebelling at so many levels. We can see it in different forms now. So, yes, you're right. Hopefully, we will learn. Okay. Thank you for that answer. Next one. If you were not a lawyer, you would be a dash.
Gentleman farmer.
Oh, okay. Nice. Which you're already an aspiring, well, you're a semi-farmer, aspiring farmer. Semi-farmer. Okay. So this one is a bit controversial. So think carefully before you answer this one. It may cost you work or it may bring you lots of work. Okay. You always read the papers before a matter. True or false?
False.
Okay,
because I used to, I don't need to.
Nice. I used to, I don't need to. Very powerful. Okay, we know you love your, you've got a need for speed and you enjoy bikes and cars. So name your dream bike or car model.
Sorry, just come again.
We know you enjoy your cars and bikes and enjoy speeding. So name your favorite like dream car or bike model.
It would have to be a Rolls Royce. I mean, it's the most perfect car ever made, according to me. That would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate. And
Shall I go ahead
if you see a YouTube video on how much effort goes into the making of a Rolls Royce and the options that a customer has, who wants a prospective customer has,
right?
It is mind blowing. Mind blowing.
We should check this out then. Thank you. So have you booked yours yet?
No, I don't think Bombay can afford a, I don't think it's best to have a Rolls Royce.
So the good part for us to note is that Mr. Dwarkadas can afford a Rolls Royce. Bombay City is the problem. Am I right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay, that's great. Moving on to your next question. If you could meet any 3 famous personalities from the dead, who would you want to meet?
Dead?
From the dead, yeah. Who would?
All three would be women. It would be Devika Rani, Ingrid Bergman, and Madhubala. Because they had the most expressive eyes, and they were thorough professionals. I would love to meet them if I could.
Super. Okay, thank you. Moving on. What is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Proposed and married twice.
Nice. Okay. If you had a choice between being invisible or being able to read minds, which one would you pick and why?
I would want to read minds because, as I said, it gives you a deep insight into human thinking and human feelings.
Okay. And I would want to be invisible. So if I were invisible and you were reading minds, so I walk into a room, you wouldn't know whose mind you're reading. You'd be able to read my mind, but you won't know whose mind you're reading, right? Okay. So moving on then, what are your 3 favorite foods to eat?
3 favorite?
Food, like food items that you really enjoy eating.
Cakes, ice creams, chocolates, and as they say, everything that you like is either unhealthy or married.
Okay then, good to know. So you've got a bit of a sweet tooth there. Okay. We know you love to travel, Mr. Dwarkadas. So what are the 5 things you check for before you head out on a leisure trip?
First, it would have to be nature related. It would not be my priority would not be a city. It would always be something to do with nature.
Okay.
Then accessibility. Then, of course, choice of food.
Sure.
Good accommodation. And preferably, I would like to do wherever I am a road trip, if I can.
Okay.
And a bit of trekking, if that is available.
Super. Okay. Understood. Next question. This is a situational one we've made up. Okay. It's never going to happen to you, I assure you. But if it were to happen, I want to see how you're going to respond. So you're in a foreign country. You don't speak the language. You're wrongfully arrested for mistaken identity. You don't have your phone or wallet on you. What are you going to do?
I would use sign language and call for a local lawyer who hopefully will take some pity on me and won't charge me what I charge others.
Should the law of karma kick in, that would be a problem. Okay, that's a good one. Moving on to your next question. If you could have your own talk show, who would you invite as the first guest?
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan.
I
Okay.
like the way he thinks
You
and
like
the
the
way
way
he
he thinks.
speaks.
Okay, super. What tells you the most about a person, Mr. Dwarkadas?
Tells you the most about
A person. So when you meet somebody, what
the
is
eyes,
it?
the eyes, the eyes.
The eyes. Okay. That takes me back to Madhubala and all the other women.
Yes.
That explains that answer. Okay,
Yes.
fair. What if you were to write an autobiography, what do you think it would be titled?
What do you think will be titled?
Mm-hmm.
Depend on the dependables.
Depend on the dependables. Wow. Okay. Very powerful.
It's my
What-
favorite line.
Okay. What would be if I were to ask you your favorite chamber tradition, what is it?
End of term lunches.
End of term lunches. Okay. And my last question then before I let you off, sorry, second last, what is the best advice you've ever heard?
The best advice I ever got was from the former Advocate General and the former Attorney General Ghulam Vanwati.
Okay.
Learn to say no.
That is the best advice you've got.
Yeah.
And why do you think that that's important? Why is it important to say no?
Because when you are doing well and when people want to brief you and it's very hard to say no. Your ego will come in your way. And it's you shouldn't bite more than you can chew.
Fair. Understood. Okay, thank you. So the last question then, this is again refocusing on us, please don't mind. Now that you've been through this drill on the unsuited, who would you recommend as our next guest for this chat show?
My own senior, Iqbal Chagla,
Wonderful.
who's been my friend, philosopher, guide, and the most inspiration behind whatever I am today.
Super, super. So I'm guessing you're going to drop him a message or make a call after this this interview is over.
I hope he says yes. I don't. I'm just, since you asked me who you would recommend, I'm saying it would be him, but I hope he says yes.
Okay, so that's where your lawyering skills are going to be put to test to convince your own senior to come on a show that is as unconventional as this. Okay, so we're banking on you. But jokes aside, it's been very enjoyable talking to you, Mr. Dwarkadas. Thank you for all your candidness, for your honesty, for sharing as openly as you have shared some very, very intimate stories and some very fun stories as well. It's been really nice getting to know Janak Dwarkadas, the person versus just the lawyer. I truly hope our audiences have enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed the process. And this will all be available later on YouTube. So for anyone who's missed this, they can definitely watch it later. I will send you the links as well, Mr. Dwarkadas.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thanks for the patient time that everybody has taken the time off to listen to this, giving me the opportunity to talk to all of you.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
I did. I thoroughly.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, signing off then. Have a good evening. Thank you, sir. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.